Emily, a 21-year-old woman, faced a tumultuous situation when her fiancé, Jake, ended their relationship due to her infidelity. In a moment of raw honesty and regret, she revealed that, just before the incident, she had slept with her boss, Mr. Thompson, at work. I had been seeing an incredible guy for quite some time. We started off as great friends, and as time passed, deeper feelings developed between us, leading to our engagement. Emily recalls, her voice tinged with nostalgia. Jake was an IT specialist, very much into family life and quite the homebody. He courted me with such grace, always driving me to work and picking me up afterward. It felt perfect. Simultaneously, Emily found herself engaged in a seemingly harmless flirtation with her older, married boss. We initially just exchanged messages, chatting about trivial things. Emily explains, her expression a mix of regret and disbelief. Then, those innocent messages evolved into jokes about sex, relationships, and lovers. I thought we were just having fun, a way to break the monotony of work. Then, unexpectedly, we had to go out of town for business. The thought of something happening crossed my mind, but I brushed it aside. He didn't seem like the type to cheat on his wife with a subordinate. It felt beneath him. But then, he stopped the car on the roadside, turned to me, and said, "We clearly forgot something." "Oh, right, sex." In those first few moments, I was terrified. But then I let my feelings take over. I liked him, he liked me, why not? Besides, I thought it would be a one-time thing. The drive back was surreal, pretending nothing had happened. We returned to the office, and just an hour later, Jake picked me up. We went for a walk, had dinner, and then shared a very passionate night together. The events of the next day are etched in Emily's memory as a moral and ethical nightmare, a twisted spiral of regret and self-recrimination. I woke up at Jake's apartment, had breakfast, and he drove me to work as usual. Around lunchtime, it hit me like a ton of bricks. I was a terrible person. I had slept with 2 men in one day. To distract myself, I decided to go shopping after work. Jake sensed something was wrong from my messages. He showed up at the mall, we walked around, and I decided to confess. I poured my heart out, told him everything. He listened, his face a mask of hurt and resignation. He said he had expected something like this, that I wasn't someone he could build a serious relationship with, and that I had shattered his heart. He drove me home, and that was it. We haven't spoken since. Well, not exactly. I tried to reach out, but he cut me off, saying there was nothing left to discuss. Emily describes the aftermath as a period of deep depression, a dark cloud of remorse and confusion hanging over her. The worst part of cheating is how it eats you up inside, Emily confesses, her eyes welling with tears. Even now, I feel like I'm on the verge of crying. The guilt and shame lingered for so long. I couldn't hold it in and ended up confiding in my mom. She was harsh, said it was dirty, and that she would never have done something like that. But she had always criticized me for being too quick to open my legs. Maybe she's right? The worst part is, I still sleep with my boss occasionally. That's how it is, but now I'm going to tell you an even more interesting, and let's just say unusual and very vivid story with all the scenes. As I stood by the door, smiling, I offered the fluffy, pristine white slippers from our shoe cabinet to our guest. "Put on the slippers and come in," I said warmly. Little did I know how the simple gesture would set off a chain of events that would turn our lives upside down. Alex hesitated, clearly regretting his decision to visit. Our apartment, immaculate to the point of resembling an operating room, seemed to suffocate him. The sight of those white slippers brought back memories of a recent past, stirring an intense urge to flee. His mother, Martha, a director of a cleaning company, had always been critical of my housekeeping skills. Her first and only visit to our home was shockingly brief. "Olivia, what is this monstrous mess? I can't believe I let my son live in such a pigsty," she exclaimed, horrified, right from the doorstep. "Mom, calm down, you're not at work. Come into the kitchen," Alex tried to soothe his mother. Martha decided to tolerate the mess, pursed her lips, and took 2 steps forward. But then, something small, furry, and orange dashed out in front of her. Martha shrieked, quite unbecoming for a dignified woman. Whiskers, no. I commanded, but our little furry whirlwind didn't listen. Wagging his tail enthusiastically, he stood on his hind legs and placed his front paws on Martha's legs, causing her sheer stockings to run. Get away, you beast. Martha pushed the dog away. She then looked at me, then at her ruined stockings, and declared in an icy tone, Alex, if you want to see me, you'll come alone. With that, she left, slamming the door behind her. Alex and I had been married for a year. It was beside me that he realized neatly stacked clothes, spotless tiles, and a sterile bathroom weren't the keys to happiness. Our home was always in a state of creative chaos, which made Alex feel cozy and relaxed. My mother-in-law never appreciated my lifestyle, but there was an upside to her disdain. Martha seldom visited, leaving us in peace. As an artist, I thrived in our colorful mess. Alex thought nothing could disturb my tranquility, but he was wrong. One person managed to do what the whole world couldn't. Olivia, my mom needs a place to stay. Can she stay with us? Alex asked one evening. Her apartment got flooded, and now it's impossible to live there until the repairs are done. She's really upset. All her perfect order is ruined, and the neighbors are furious. I'm not against it, but I'm worried she won't be comfortable here, I replied hesitantly. Don't worry. I think the flood washed away her pride. She wouldn't have asked otherwise, Alex smiled. Martha arrived that very evening. Mock up the orange monster, she ordered as she cautiously peered into our apartment. With a sigh, I confined Whiskers, who was eager to socialize, to the bedroom. Then I helped Alex bring in her many belongings. Is she moving in forever? I whispered to Alex. No. She's here temporarily and only brought the essentials, Martha interjected, looking at me with disdain. And I have good hearing. She then proceeded to inspect our apartment. Chaos, clutter, disaster. She muttered under her breath. Finally, she stopped at the bedroom door where Whiskers was confined. Open the door and neutralize the creature, Martha commanded. I grabbed Whiskers as Martha entered the room, inspecting it thoroughly. I'll sleep here, but first, I'll have my cleaning crew tidy up this pigsty, she declared. This is our bedroom, Alex protested. And Whiskers's. A dog on the bed? Are you insane? He rolls around in who knows what and sniffs, pardon me, places a decent person wouldn't mention. Martha was appalled. But he's used to sleeping on the bed, I chimed in. I can't change that overnight. If you take our bedroom, Whiskers will join you. Martha shuddered. Where do you suggest I sleep then? We have a couch in the living room, I offered. Like a poor relative? Martha looked at Alex for support. Mom, what do you want? Either you sleep in our bed with Whiskers or in the living room. There's no third option, Alex shrugged. Martha weighed her options and reluctantly agreed to the couch. But even there, Whiskers couldn't leave her alone. The next morning, I was awakened by an inhuman scream. I jumped out of bed, my slippers flying, and rushed towards the screams. Martha, in her white nightgown, looking like a ghost, stood in the dark corridor, brandishing a mop. Whiskers was nowhere to be seen. What happened? I mumbled. Your oversized rat got into my bed. You promised he'd sleep with you. Martha turned to me furiously. He just wanted to meet you. I don't want to meet this flea bag. But no worries, I'll make sure he stays where he belongs. Martha declared and stormed back to the room, not releasing the mop from her grasp. I sighed, found the frightened dog, and after breakfast, we headed to the park. Alex had already left for work. Meanwhile, Martha wasted no time. She called her cleaners and bought a lock. Move faster, boys. Not a speck of dust should remain. Do a good job and you'll get a bonus, she encouraged them. By the time I returned, the living room sparkled with sterile cleanliness. A new lock gleamed on the door, and Martha refused to give me the key. I won't let you turn my temporary abode back into a hobo's den in my absence. My cleaners barely managed your filth. But this is my apartment. I protested. I have a right to access all rooms. Besides, my things and the TV are in there. Take your things now, and there's a TV in the kitchen, Martha retorted. Hurry up, I need to get to work. I've already neglected my business because of this flood. That evening, I vented to Alex. Your mother kicked me out of my own living room, installed a lock, and scared Whiskers so badly he's stuttering. I'm very patient, but she's ruining my inspiration. Instead of landscapes, I'm painting scenes from horror stories. I'll talk to her. Alex promised. Martha was lounging on the couch, flipping through TV channels, when Alex knocked on the door. Come in, dear. Doesn't it look much better now? Martha gestured grandly at the transformed living room. I feel like I'm at your house, Alex shuddered. Mom, you haven't forgotten this is Olivia's apartment. So what? Should I sit in filth because of that and endure a flirting dog? You knew where you were coming. If you want to live as you're used to, go home or rent a hotel room. Your Olivia has not only turned this place into a mess, but also muddied your mind. You never spoke to me like this before. Fine, I'll leave if you don't value your mother. It's very humane to offer help and then withdraw it. Martha's voice dripped with martyrdom. Alex felt a pang of guilt. It did seem wrong to set ultimatums when his mother needed help. Her obsession with cleanliness wasn't out of spite, it was a professional deformation. Martha noticed his hesitation. I know it's not you pushing me away, but Olivia. She never liked me. That's why we couldn't become friends, Martha lamented. I'm sorry, Mom. I'll ask Olivia to be kinder. Rust, don't worry about what I said. But Olivia unexpectedly refused to be kinder. I don't want to be oppressed in my own home. Your mother barged into my studio today and announced she'd clean it. She wouldn't listen to objections. Alex, she needs to go home. Olivia, maybe it's not so bad if she cleans up. You used to love our home. Olivia's voice was laced with hurt. Meanwhile, Martha, ignoring my protests, was rapidly transforming the apartment with her faithful cleaners. Only my studio remained untouched. I guarded my sanctuary like a Cerberus, even installing a lock on the door. But Martha was patient. One day, I forgot to lock it before leaving for a sketching session. Returning home, I found the studio destroyed and Olivia in tears. She ruined my studio. Olivia cried, seeking comfort from Alex. I just tidied up, Martha declared. It's me or her. Olivia issued an ultimatum. Choose, son. Martha seemed confident of Alex's choice. Alex was torn. How could they do this? Olivia, seeing his hesitation, waved her hand. I understand. Leave my apartment, both of you. I want to work and live the way I like. I've been enough. You need to calm down, Alex muttered. I really should go for now. A month of living with his mother made Alex miss Olivia terribly. He called, but she never answered. Hurt by his choice, she felt betrayed. Martha, seeing her son's misery, decided to cheer him up in her way. Today, we're having lunch with a wonderful girl, Lena, Martha announced one day. We've known her for a long time. She's a manager at one of our sites. Young, tidy, beautiful, perfection itself. Alex shrugged indifferently. Be a good boy and behave. Martha instructed. Lena was indeed a beauty. She should be in laundry detergent commercials, Alex thought, all white and clean. Lena, already infatuated with Alex from Martha's stories, looked at him with adoration. Although he missed Olivia, Alex enjoyed Lena's attention. Martha noticed this and nudged him in the right direction. Alex, there's a lovely cafe near work. Why not invite Lena for lunch? She suggested, giving him a significant look and a nudge under the table. Lena gazed at Alex expectantly. Sure, why not? He mumbled. Martha beamed. Maybe her son would forget his messy wife. Alex went on a few innocent dates with Lena. To spite Olivia. Why won't she answer my calls? He thought. But one day, Lena invited him to her place. We'll just have tea as friends. You'll see how I live, she coaxed, hoping for more than tea. Alex initially refused but eventually gave in. All right, why not have tea with a nice person? Martha approved his decision. Right, go and unwind. You can't just work and pine for your ungrateful, messy wife. Stepping into Lena's apartment, Alex was overwhelmed by its blinding cleanliness. The parquet shone, the mirrors sparkled, and even the doormat was unnaturally clean, as if untouched by human feet. Come in, But please change your shoes. Lena opened a white shoe cabinet and handed Alex fluffy, pristine white slippers. Alex knew he had to leave. This place, this museum, was not for him. He backed away, opened the door, and fled down the stairs under Lena's bewildered gaze. Soon, he was knocking on Olivia's door. She opened it, dressed in a paint-splattered coverall, her face also smudged with colorful hues. Whiskers dashed out, and Alex scooped him up. "Forgive me. I was a fool to fall for my mom's manipulations. I'll never do it again. Let me back into our wonderful, cozy chaos." Olivia smiled, opening the door wider. "No more cleaners in the house. And no directors either," she demanded. "None," Alex promised, kissing his wife. "I've realized what true happiness is, not in perfect order.